Women say they want peace, stability, and a nice guy who treats them right. But here's the brutal truth nobody talks about. Give her exactly that, and watch her walk away. Not because you did something wrong, but because you gave her everything she asked for. You became predictable. You became safe. And safety, my friend, is the death of attraction. Before you click away, let me show you something that will change how you see relationships forever. 3 psychological patterns that every woman carries. Patterns that modern society has buried under layers of political correctness. And if you understand these patterns, you stop being the guy who gets left, and you become the man she can't stop thinking about. Hit that like button right now, because what I'm about to reveal goes against everything you've been taught. And subscribe, because this channel is dedicated to showing you the uncomfortable truths that actually work in the real world. Let's start with something you've probably experienced. She picks a fight over nothing. A towel left on the bed, a text message you sent 3 hours ago, the way you said good morning. You think she's being crazy. You try to logic your way out of it. You apologize, you explain, and somehow it gets worse. Here's what's really happening. She's not upset about the towel. She's testing you. She's creating chaos to see if you'll break. Think about it like this. The human nervous system cannot feel warmth unless it has experienced cold. You cannot taste water unless you've known thirst. She cannot feel your strength unless she pushes against it. This is the first hidden pattern. Women are addicted to emotional friction. Not because they're dramatic or broken, but because friction is how they measure the boundaries of the relationship. When everything is smooth, when there's zero conflict, zero tension, she feels like she's floating in empty space. There are no edges, no walls, no container. And that terrifies her at a level she doesn't even consciously understand. Most guys make the fatal mistake of mirroring her energy. She raises her voice, you raise yours. She withdraws, you chase. She cries, you panic and apologize. Every single time you do this, you're handing her your power. You're proving that she can move you, that she can shake your foundation. And the moment she realizes she can control your emotional state, attraction dies. Here's the technique that flips the script. When she initiates drama, you become stone. Not cold, not cruel, just unmovable. You look her in the eye, you keep your voice low and steady, and you say something like this. You're upset. We'll talk when you're calm. Then you go back to whatever you were doing. Your book, your work, your mission. At first, she'll escalate. She'll push harder, trying to crack you. This is the test. But if you hold your ground, if you refuse to be pulled into the chaos, something shifts in her brain. She realizes her storm has no power over you. And that realization triggers a deep, evolutionary respect. She thinks, I cannot move him. Therefore, he is stronger than me. Therefore, he can protect me. You're not ignoring her to be mean. You're demonstrating that your internal world is more solid than her external storm. Ancient philosophers understood this 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote about being like a rocky cliff that stands firm while waves crash against it. The cliff doesn't fight the waves. It doesn't explain to the waves why they shouldn't crash. It just stands. And eventually, the waves calm themselves. This is masculine frame. This is what she's actually craving when she creates chaos. She wants to know that you won't crumble. Now here's where it gets even deeper. And this is the second pattern. Women need external definition. Let me explain what that means. Men generally build their sense of self from within. You know who you are based on your principles, your goals, your mission. But women, generally speaking, construct their identity through relationships and social perception. She is a mirror, and you are the projector. If you project insecurity, she reflects it back magnified. If you project jealousy, she becomes secretive. If you project weakness, she becomes controlling. But here's the hack. If you project absolute, unshakable certainty, she has no choice but to reflect that back as devotion. Most men destroy attraction by asking questions. Do you like me? What are we? Are you mad at me? Every time you ask these questions, you're asking the mirror what it sees. The mirror has no opinion. It only reflects. When you ask her for validation, you're handing her the script and begging her to direct the movie. She hates this role. She doesn't want to lead. She wants to be swept up in a story that you're writing. Her weakness is that she cannot generate the frame of the relationship on her own. If she has to, if she wins that battle, she loses attraction. She needs you to impose reality. So instead of asking questions, you make statements. You don't ask, "Where do you want to eat?" You say, "Get dressed, we're going to that Italian place downtown. You look good in red." You don't ask, "Can I kiss you?" You look at her lips, you lean in, and you take what already belongs to you. You don't ask, "Are we exclusive?" You operate with the assumption that you are the highest value option she has, and it would be illogical for her to be with anyone else. This creates psychological gravity. She starts looking to you to define reality. You become her external world. You become the arbiter of truth. If she acts bratty and you react with hurt, you validate that her behavior is powerful. But if you look at her with amused skepticism, like a parent watching a toddler throw a tantrum, you redefine her behavior as cute but irrelevant. You reframe her entire reality. This is the mechanism of the oracle. In ancient times, people traveled for miles to hear the oracle speak. The oracle was vague. The oracle was brief. The oracle did not explain herself. People filled in the gaps with their own meaning. You must become the oracle. When she asks about your past, your feelings, your intentions, don't dump your entire emotional history on the table. Give her a fragment, something like, "I've learned that trust is expensive. I don't buy cheap things." Then leave it there. Her mind will spin. She'll try to decode what you mean. She'll project depth onto you. Her need to define the situation forces her to think about you constantly. She's doing the work. You're just providing the screen. But these two patterns, the addiction to friction and the need for external definition, those are just the foundation. The third pattern is the one that makes people uncomfortable. It challenges everything modern society has told you about what women want. And this is the big one. Deep in the evolutionary brain, the part that has survived ice ages and predators and tribal warfare, women don't want a partner. They want something far more primal. They want the monster that only they can touch. History is filled with stories of women falling for tyrants, warriors, outlaws. Society calls this a sickness. They have a name for it: hysteriophilia, attraction to dangerous men. But that's a surface-level diagnosis. It's not the danger she loves. It's the competence. It's the capacity for violence held perfectly in check. Jordan Peterson said it best. A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very dangerous man who has that under voluntary control. The third hidden pattern is this. Women crave the monster. This contradicts everything you've been taught. You're told to be soft, vulnerable, emotional. And when you follow that advice, you watch her attraction evaporate. She pats you on the back, calls you sweet, and goes home with the guy who looks like he could burn the world down, but chooses not to. Why? Because the world is dangerous. And deep in her DNA, she knows she cannot protect herself from the wolves. So she needs a wolf of her own. Stoicism is not weakness. Marcus Aurelius spent most of his life at war, killing barbarians on the frontier. Then he'd come back and write philosophy at night. He wasn't nice, he was disciplined. There's a massive difference. Nice is the absence of power. Stoic is the mastery of power. Her weakness is that she cannot fully surrender to a man she does not fear. Just a little bit. I'm not talking about physical fear. I'm talking about the fear of your capability. She needs to look at you and know that if necessary, if the world demanded it, you have the teeth to tear everything apart. But because you are disciplined, because you possess control, you keep the sword in the sheath. This creates what I call the tamer fantasy. Every woman wants to be the one who can pet the lion. If you're a house cat, petting you means nothing. You purr for everyone. You're safe. You're boring. But if you're a lion and you growl at the world but let her touch your mane, that is the ultimate validation of her worth. She has tamed the beast. How do you trigger this? You must stop apologizing for your masculinity. You must stop asking permission to take up space. A nice guy agrees with everything she says because he's afraid of losing her. A stoic man values truth more than her approval. When she says something you disagree with, don't nod and smile. Look her in the eyes and say, "No, that's incorrect." Don't elaborate, don't soften it. The moment you say no to a woman, you become real. You become solid. You become a challenge. She'll act offended at first, but watch her eyes. The pupils will dilate. She's seeing a man with a backbone, a man who is not afraid of her. And here's the dark truth. She wants you to win. When she tests you, when she argues, when she pushes your buttons, she is secretly praying you're strong enough to withstand her. She wants to lose the argument. She wants to crash into the wall of your frame and fall back, exhausted and safe. If you fold, she resents you. If you hold, she worships you. Now look at the architecture we've built here. 3 patterns, 3 levers. The anxiety of peace. You stop fixing her chaos and become the unmovable rock, satisfying her need for friction. The identity mirror. You stop asking her to define reality and impose your own frame, becoming the oracle she depends on. The tamer fantasy. You stop being harmless and become the disciplined force of nature, triggering her desire to submit to your competence. When you combine these 3, you stop chasing. The magnetic polarity flips. You're no longer the beggar at the gate of her validation. You're the prize. And she starts chasing you. She chases because you become the only source of the drug she craves. Certainty in an uncertain world. Most men are leaves in the wind, changing based on what a woman says or does. You become the oak tree. Leaves chase the oak. The oak does not chase leaves. This is the Stoic secret. When you truly do not need the outcome, when you're happy to be with her, but equally content to walk away, you become irresistible. It's the scent of freedom. She knows she cannot control you. She knows that if she leaves, you won't crumble. You'll simply continue your mission, your life, your purpose, and that terrifies her. That terror is the root of obsession. She will work harder to keep you. She will invest more emotion. She will try to prove herself worthy, over and over. And you'll simply smile, offer your hand, and lead. Not because you need to, but because you choose to. Before we wrap this up, drop a comment right now and type the word stone. Just that one word. It's a signal to yourself that you're ready to stop being the leaf and become the cliff. And share this video with one guy who needs to hear this message. One friend who's been stuck in the nice guy trap. You could change his entire life with one share. But understand this, there is a cost to this power. Once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Once you understand the strings that pull behavior, the game loses its mystery. You'll see the tests before they happen. You'll predict the manipulation before it starts. The magic of falling in love is often just the magic of ignorance, stumbling blindly in the dark. When you turn on the lights, you stop stumbling, but the mystery fades. You're trading the anxious excitement of a boy for the calm, cold certainty of a king. The question isn't, can you do this? The question is, are you ready to walk in that silence? Because the view from the top is beautiful, but there's no one else up there. This isn't about pickup lines or tricks. This is about the complete reconstruction of how you show up as a man. If you're tired of being the guy who gets walked over, if you're ready to become the man she can't stop thinking about, then you need to keep watching these videos. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because every single video on this channel is designed to build you into that man. The comment section is full of men who have made this shift. Read their stories. Add your own. We're building something here. A brotherhood of men who refuse to play by broken rules. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, become stone.